Check it out, y'all. A video to help you prep the DeMentha soda maker, aka Sparkle Pony, because it adds sparkles to your pony, aka drink. Yeah, let's go. Alright, y'all. So, going through the first step here, removing the filter module from the coffin. Check it out. Cool. So, first thing I'm going to do is just loosen these screws so that I can lift this. But actually, before that, I'm actually going to unscrew this hose so that I can actually lift it. So, you'll see here, I actually want to get 2 wrenches because I want to hold this and then unscrew this. If I don't hold this and I start unscrewing this, you're gonna kind of start messing with this and cause wear and tear over time. So I'm holding this, using my wrench here, unscrewing. It gets loose pretty quickly, and then I can just go in with my hands. And there you have it. You'll also see that inside this, there is a little black piece. That is for just connecting these two and making sure there's no leaks. Just make sure you don't lose that. So I'm gonna set it down here. So now that this hose is removed, this is ready or free to be lifted. Just got to unscrew these a little bit, loosen them. And I can lift. There's your filter module. I'm gonna replace the filters now. You'll probably have some water in here, so just feel free to dump it out. Actually, you have a lot of water in there, and so it's easier to just replace the filter. All right, so there's a wrench that we typically use to unscrew these. I can't find it right now, but I'm just gonna show you that you can still unscrew them without that. Here I've set it in the grooves here, so I've got some leverage, and then if I just there we go. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna unscrew all of these. So I finally unscrewed all of these. There's a lot of water leakage, so hope you're working in a place that can get wet. And the thing I want to point out here, so at this stage, I'm going to clean each of these just with regular dishwashing soap. And to clean it, make sure there's an O-ring here, a little rubber O-ring. This one's already fallen out. So take this out and then wash these. So I'm gonna go do that now. All right, y'all, so these are all washed and I've taken these filters out. One thing I want to point out is these filters all have this sort of washer in here. You want to make sure that none of those have stayed in the filter housing, because that would prevent you from being able to tighten it with the new filter properly. So just make sure none of those are in the filter housing. And then now we're basically gonna put the new filters in. I'm gonna empty this. I'm gonna place the filters in order. So the first one you'll see on all these, they have a stage number. So stage 1 sediment filter. So I'm gonna start with that. I wash this. I'm gonna replace the O-ring back in here. Just have to squeeze that in. I'm gonna grab my new sediment filter. Open that. Get rid of everything, all the paper. Insert it into stage 1. So, just so you remember, this is where the water is coming in from. So this is stage 1, 2, 3. That there. So I'm just gonna do these all hand tight first. So, reminder that this rubber piece goes on, should be touching the bottom of this. So when I put this on here, I want the rubber piece facing up. So just like this. Got the O-ring in here. Well, with this last one, it seems like both ends are the exact same, so it doesn't matter. CTO carbon. Got the O-ring again. Alright, so now I've replaced all 3 filters. You'll want to use the wrench to tighten these. I don't have them on hand, hoping that I got them hand tight enough, but we'll find out. So I'm going to put this back. Screw these on, attach this hose. Let's do that. Remember when I am attaching this hose to make sure I still have this little black washer in here. Otherwise you're probably gonna have leaks. So got that in there. Now I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna tighten that with 2 wrenches. Alright, so now we're going to test for leaks all the way through the filter up to the pump. And yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to take a hose that I've got connected to the house, attach this here. I want to hold this, so let's use a wrench there. So now that I've got that attached, I'm going to turn the hose on. This is still closed, doesn't matter, but I'm going to start with it closed and then I'll open it. Okay, so I've got that hose on. So looks like we have a tiny leak here. So now let's run this through and see what happens. So you can see each filter getting filled. And then now if you look down here, this pressure, this flow sensor is going off. We got pressure here, a little bit of pressure here. Yep, so this is getting filled. And what we want to do is fill this up so that there's no air or CO2. And then empty a little bit of water and then fill it up with CO2. So we don't want any, we just want water and CO2. We don't want water and air or anything like that. So this is good, filling it up with water, get rid of any of the air. Sounds like it's stopping. So let's see if there's any leaks in here. I'm not seeing any. It's actually looking pretty dry, which is good. Yeah, that's looking good. That is clearly leaking though. So we're gonna need to fix that. All right, y'all, so as you saw, there was a leak at these parts when we attached the hose. So I've just removed these parts. And I removed them so that we can reseal them. So that's what I'm going to do now. The way I'm going to reseal them is this one has the threads. So I'm going to try this pipe thread sealant to fill the threads and then attach it to the different pieces. Yeah, so I'm going to do that now. So let's give this a try. So I put one of the sealants on this. Now I'm gonna try the other one. It's just a different make, and we're gonna see if both work well or if one works better than the other. All right, so now we've got pretty heavily sealed threads. So hopefully attaching this to the pipe will no longer have leaks. Now I'm gonna attach this to the end of that this way. Make sure that each side has a washer. That is gonna help prevent leaks as well. Alright, yo, so we're going to get water out of this tank, and the way we're going to do that is open one of these valves. Water should start coming out immediately, and at some point it'll stop because there's not enough pressure to put water out. So we're going to need to send more air through this CO2 inlet, and then I'll push the water out, and we'll keep doing that until this is empty and this is just pushing air out. So right now I've got this janky little hose connected to outlet 2, and I'm just gonna collect the water out here. Obviously in the future we're gonna try to have a proper hose here that will yeah, just be a better setup. But for now, we're just using those two. So I'm gonna open this, and you'll see water probably coming out. Yeah, there you go. So now you'll see that there's not much water coming out when I open this. So the reason for this is there's not enough pressure here, and to help push the water out, we need to send more either CO2 or air in here. The way we're going to do that is actually with an air compressor. You can use a CO2 tank, but an air compressor also works. And I'm just going to push air right through here. There we go. See the water coming out as I push more air through. So when I'm applying air, or putting more air, instead of water, you're going to start to see air. There you go. So it's basically just air in there now. Now that this is empty, we can test the pump. We basically can't test the pump unless it's empty. So test a few things with this pump. So the first thing we're going to test is, does this stay off if there's not enough pressure from the street or the tank? So as you can see here, the pump only turns on at 25 psi and it turns off at 10 psi. When I plug this pump in right now, there's 0 psi, so it should not turn on. So I'm going to do that right now. I've got the plug. I'm going to plug it in, make sure this doesn't turn on. Right, so no pump, there's no pressure, so it's not turning on. That's great. I'm going to open this valve, and as soon as this hits 25 psi, this should turn on. So let's do that. Did you hear that turn on? Oh. And now, I want to make sure those valves are closed. Now, this is pumping water into this. And we're also testing that this float switch, once it hits a certain level, will turn the pump off. So we're waiting for that right now. There we go. So water hit a certain level. This basically detects that level and sends a signal to the pump to turn off. So that looks like it's working And that's what we want to test for before we get out there, is make sure the pump is working, make sure this float switch is working, and looking good. Really great work. You are now certified as a Sparkle Pony tester. And the Sparkle Pony is ready to sparkle on playa, thanks to you.